Welcome to the Walking Through the Word podcast with Pastor Dale Everest. This journey through the scriptures is dedicated to helping you understand God's truth and how to live out that truth in confident faith and loving obedience. We pray this podcast blesses and empowers you as you advance His kingdom. Get ready for the Word to change you.
Well, hey everybody, Pastor Dale here. Welcome to another Walking Through the Word podcast. Our wisdom word for the week. A couple more days of this particular wisdom word. Proverbs 30:11. There is a generation that curses its father and does not bless its mother. Again, Proverbs 30:11. There is a generation that curses its father and does not bless its mother. Our poetic paraphrase: for those who brought us to the world, the commands of God are clear. Respect and honor dad and mom with love and hold them dear. But sometimes there are children who turn away their face. They disrespect their parents and become a huge disgrace. It's been a good wisdom word, and one I hope that you've meditated on and memorized as the Lord has led you. Our worship word for the week, Psalm 145, 1-7. I will extol you, highly praise you, my God, O King, and I will bless your name forever and ever. Every day I will bless you, and I will praise your name forever and ever. Every day and forever and ever, I will praise and bless your name. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise your works to another, and shall declare your mighty acts. I will meditate on the glorious splendor of your majesty and on your wondrous works. Men shall speak of the might of your awesome acts, and I will declare your greatness. They shall utter the memory of your great goodness. That word utter literally has to do with to eagerly utter, to literally to bubble forth, to it's just coming out and flowing out. People just, you got to hear about my God and all the good things that he has done, and shall sing of your righteousness. I love these psalms of declarative praise, and just declaring the greatness of God and the wisdom of declaring God's greatness. That's our reading today for in the Psalms as well. So we've done our worship word for the week as well as our reading in Psalms. Let's go to Proverbs on this Saturday, December the 20th. Yeah, we're already there. We're already there. Proverbs 30, 15-16. 15, the leech has two daughters. Give and give. There are three things that are never satisfied. Four never say enough. The grave, the barren womb, the earth that is not satisfied with water, and the fire never says enough. That's those proverbs are so interesting. I was just talking about this proverb. The leech has two daughters. Give and give. The one who just takes and takes and takes and takes. There are three things that are never satisfied. Four never say enough. The grave, the barren womb, the earth that is not satisfied with water, and the fire never says enough. And the idea is that we as people are not to be those who are never satisfied. We're always saying, give me more, give me more, give me more. We don't want to be the leech. All right, well, let's go to Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 9. Zechariah chapter 9, verses 1-8. The burden of the word of the Lord against the land of Hadrach and Damascus, its resting place. For the eyes of men and all the tribes of Israel are on the Lord. Also against Hamath, which borders on it. When it says the burden of the word of the Lord. That's the oracle or the prophecy that is coming through Zechariah. And against Tyre and Sidon, though they are very wise. For Tyre built herself a tower, heaped up silver like the dust, and gold like the mire of the streets. Behold, the Lord will cast out, he will destroy her power in the sea, and she will be devoured by fire. Ashkelon shall see it in fear. Gaza also shall be very sorrowful, and Ekron, for he dried up her expectation. The king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. A mixed race, or that can mean an illegitimate one, shall settle in Ashdod. And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. I will take away the blood from his mouth and the abominations from between his teeth. But he who remains, even he shall be our God, and shall be like a leader in Judah. And Ekron like a Jebusite. I will camp around my house because of the army, because of him who passes by and him who returns. No more shall an oppressor pass through them, for now I have seen with my eyes. So that's God's way of saying that Israel is going to be defended against enemies. It's very important that we understand that when we are uncovered, it is because we came out from undercover. It's the same way out from under God's cover. It's the same way with leaders. It's the same way in the home when people get out from under the cover of those that God has put in authority for protection and for covering, for comfort. But when we stay under the lordship of Jesus, under the covering of our God, we put ourselves in a position to be safe and secure. When we come under cover of those that God has put in our lives in authority, not to dominate us, not to dictate to us, not to control us, not to run our lives, but to give us an umbrella of protection through wise and godly counsel. That's when we find safety. And so God is saying to the people, as you have been willing to come under me, I will defend you against your enemies. And what he did for them, he will do for us as well. All right. Well, let's go to the book of Revelation, Revelation chapter 17, and our word for the day is entitled Babylon the Great. Revelation 17, it says, Then one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and talked with me, saying to me, Come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot, who sits on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup, full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. And on her forehead a name was written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, and the abominations of the earth. I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I marveled with great amazement. But the angel said to me, Why did you marvel? I will tell you the mystery or the hidden truth of the woman and of the beast that carries her, which has the 7 heads and the 10 horns. The beast that you saw was and is not, and will ascend out of the bottomless pit and go to perdition. And those who dwell on the earth will marvel, whose names are not written in the Lamb's book of life from the foundation of the world, when they see the beast that was and is not and yet is. So let's break this down a little bit. In 17:1 and 2, the reference to one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls marks this passage as a continuation of 16:17 to 21. The coming reference to Babylon the Great has the same linking effect. Many waters are interpreted in verse 15 as peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Although Babylon is only called the harlot in verses 1, 5, 16, and 19:2, her habitual fornication was introduced in 14:8, as was her imminent and well-deserved judgment. Both the kings of the earth and the inhabitants of the earth are seduced into committing spiritual adultery with Babylon. The indication is that she made them drunk with power, material possessions, false worship, and pride. The wine of Babylon's fornication in 14:8 is judged forcefully and finally by God in the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And Babylon the Great is the world's system. And it is the world system gone mad during this tribulation period. When some people have Babylon, Babylon the Great as the reemergence of the Roman Empire, and there's just so many things people will say. But basically, the best way to understand Babylon is to understand it as the world system that is dead set against all that is of God. It is a world system that is built on lust and pride. It is a system that is against the things of God. Everything in the kingdom is about love and humility and submission to God. Everything in the world is about standing against the things of God. He goes on here to say in 17:3, and the Spirit describes John's spiritually exalted state as he receives the various visions of the book of Revelation. The wilderness is where the woman identified as Babylon, the mother of harlots, is seen on a scarlet beast. Since this woman normally sits on many waters, and since the woman who gave birth to the child ruler fled into the wilderness as a place of protection, perhaps Babylon here is seen as being in league with the dragon and the beast as they ferociously pursue God's people. The description of the scarlet beast clearly identifies him with the beast from the sea, the Antichrist, in 13:1, 5, and 6. The 10 horns are interpreted in verse 12 as 10 kings. They may represent the 10 toes of Nebuchadnezzar's vision, but again, it has to do with the enemies of God in the earth. The woman Babylon is dressed like a queen, wearing purple, scarlet, gold, and pearls. Though the appearance of the great harlot is regal, her royal golden cup is full of abominations and filthiness. Speaking of idolatry and unclean acts that disgust God, this description is given first from the standpoint of the people who look at the outer appearance, and then from the perspective of God who knows the heart. The name on Babylon's forehead may imply that Babylon is ultimately subordinate to the beast. Mystery may be the first part of the title for Babylon the Great, but based on the use of the word mystery in verse 7, this verse should probably read, on her forehead a mysterious name was written. The title itself suggests that all spiritual harlotry and abominable acts in history are somehow the offspring of Babylon. And when you go back to the very beginning of Babylon, Babylon is always seen as being in opposition to all the things of God. But what's going to happen to Babylon? Babylon is going to fall. It's going to fall. This world system that sometimes can seem so powerful is going down by the judgment of God and by the power of His Spirit and by the return of His Son, the Lord Jesus Christ. Let us never be in league with the world, but always with the kingdom. God bless you. We love you. Have a great day in Jesus.